coach, just right here in the front. Hey, man, coming into today, had a tough time getting efficient shot selection. What did you see from him in that second half? He goes 4 for 5, scores 15 points, and what does that do for a guy like that in offense?
Well, again, Nate, I thought he was assertive. I thought he, not just what he was doing driving the ball, passes over top of the zone were big. I thought he was really starting to see the court better. And you're playing against a team that want to have a great deal of respect for Darren Horn and who he is and the way he runs things. We told our team coming in, this team's going to play as hard as anybody can play it. They're never going to stop playing. We're going to play against a team that we probably won't see a defense the way they play it with their matchup zone. And I thought our size was a huge factor in the game. Obviously, we were able to play over top of them, but we did a much better job as a team doing some things that we practice. And Nate was assertive, which is important. But without watching the film, I thought the mental focus was much better than it's been, where the focus was more towards what we have to do as a team to get better, as opposed to when the season starts, everybody's wanting to think they've got to go do something, and all they have to do is what we practice. And I thought that showed up today.
Grant and Ryan, what would you like about Jacoby today specifically?
Again, I think more and more that he's learning how to the system, how it works, and you'll make the system work, it'll work for him. And that's been proven. And in terms of what we do, he would tell you he's never been in a position to do something like this, but he's going to keep getting better and better. But he's going to keep getting the attention of the other team. Everybody's going to try to put pressure on him, whether it's full court, three-quarter court, whatever it may be, half court. He's got a bullseye on him because what he is as a player. And that's never really happened to him at the level that it's going to continue to happen.
Why'd y'all decide to start Cade over Jones there?
Just felt like that we wanted with them having a guy that could step out for us to shoot the ball. We wanted to make sure that when we were switching and doing different things that we didn't want to give that up early. Again, I was impressed with Northern Kentucky, the fact they came in, and I thought we were guarding them, and they started the game, and they made some shots, and you could tell they weren't at least been intimidated, which I think is, again, a great compliment to Darren and his staff. And I think we're going to be a really good team. Again, our size was a huge factor, but that was the reason to put Cade out there, because we just felt like we could extend our defense a little bit more.
Go Ben and then Rob.
Ricky had 4 turnovers in the first half and finished with 12 for the game. Do you feel like you made a step forward there coming off the 19?
We did. I mean, to some, like you look at Nate's, he stepped out of bounds. Jacoby, the first turnover, I said, what are you doing? I said, we've never tried to make that pass in our transition game ever. So things like that, obviously, sometimes you don't understand it, but I thought for the most part when we went to the numbers and getting guys in, they stayed within the flow. And second half we turned it over. I mean, guys didn't finish cut like with Dwayne's turn. That was not Dwayne's turnover. Ethan would have kept going. It was the right play. So some of that, again, we got the chance to get a lot better, but we took care of the ball a lot better tonight than we did the other night, obviously.
Coach, just that level of offensive efficiency this early in the season, pretty pleased to see that.
Yeah, again, I thought guys play within themselves as opposed to thinking they had to make something happen. I thought they let the offense come to them. I thought our passing, for the most part, was probably the best it's been all year in terms of putting the ball where it needed to be and not taking guys out of shooting rhythm. But I thought just the demeanor overall, for the most part, was where they were seeing the court and not thinking I got to do something every time I got it. I thought Bishop did a really good job. I thought he was, again, locked in defensively. So, I mean, he worked so hard at shooting. Great to see that go in for him, which is huge. And he would have played more in the second half, but he got his foot stepped on it. He just felt like we didn't need to do it.
Mike and then Paige.
That level of offense from JP, is that what you've always kind of known he can do, and how much does that change the overall team offense when he can do
It
things like
changes
that?
everything, and he can do more. I promise you, he can do more of that. And he's going to, again, he's had a year off where it always is tough when you, and you think back at the end of his freshman year, he started you know, he felt like he was making the strides, and he still doesn't have a clue how good he can be. He's such a humble, you know, free-loving guy, and I told him, I said, you can be like that, but when you get on the floor, you're going to have to change the way you see things, the way you do things, and but there's just so much more there, and I think he'll get there.
Coach, you mentioned that you noticed Nate was much more assertive tonight with his ability to play offensively. What maybe clicked with him this week where he's more willing to take that contact or pull the trigger a little faster?
You know about JP?
Nate.
Okay.
Nate.
Well, again, I think he's young. I mean, you think about it, he's 3-4 games out of high school, but he's a good player. And the more he plays, and he works at it. He takes serious our scouting reports. He's got respect for who we're playing, but he's starting to understand more and more each day what he's capable of doing, and what he'll find out here early. Every game's gonna be a little bit different, but the mindset coming in was, again, he really, again, I thought he got fouled at the end of the half when they were chest to chest with him 3-point, and then the first play of the second half, I thought it was a foul. And it goes back to what I tell you guys, officials need these early games probably more as much than we do, and that's why we need more exhibition games to let those guys get more, because they work hard, and it's hard to walk out there and start. They don't get to do this as much as we've been doing it for a long time, but we just want them to be aggressive, assertive, and do that.
Sam and Wes.
Coach, JP, obviously, big game. What did you just see from his tenacity, especially on the offense and getting those rebounds, of course, finishing with that double-double tonight?
Well, that's what, again, he's up there, and if he'll fight for his space, if he'll fight for where he needs to be, and again, he's still going to have to play quicker, because the more you do, the more people are going to come after you quicker, and you're not going to be able to play around with it, and be able to have to get set to score the ball before he really gets it. But he's making strides, and like I said, he's just getting started with what we think he can do.
If Nate can consistently, you know, kind of handle the pressure the way he did today, see over those double teams, make the right pass, how much more difficult does that make for opponents to guard him, and what's that open up for the offense?
It's great for his teammates, because he's a very unselfish player. I mean, he enjoys passing the ball. I mean, assisted the other day. Again, I think his versatility separates him from a lot of players, and his humility and the fact he's humble, and he's going to continue to work. He's not satisfied, but again, the more he gets to do this, the better he's going to get.
So 3 more hands up. We'll go Trevor, Jack, Ryan.
Coach, how does Bishop continue to affect the game beyond the box score?
His defense, I mean, we're still, Bishop plays so hard, and I've told him how he's got to get smarter with it. Sometimes he'll get overly aggressive, and where he's tough. He works at it. He knows that's a role we need him to play. And, now he has been as consistent on that end as anyone that we this year, obviously. And he's just, again, I think he's got a chance to become even more elite on that end of the court.
Coach, NKU comes on a 10-5 run to start the game, just 3 minutes in. What defensive adjustment did you make to hold them to under 50 points the last 43 minutes?
Well, I think our depth, you wear on people. We worked really hard, and we've worked hard, and we've got to get so much better. Stand in front of the ball to keep us out of rotation. Obviously, we're doing a lot of switching out there where our post guys are guarding guards. We're getting better at that kick out where we switch on the ball and they roll a big guy in, and normally the other post guy can kick him out. Those type things. Talking, we've got so much further to go to talk. Again, I thought the mindset was really good coming in terms of the preparation. And again, we spent a whole week trying to clean up the offense, because we haven't been very good, obviously. And but again, I just thought the mindset was so different today than where guys were really thinking about as a team. Let's do what we practice and see what happens. And so that was pretty clear that we did that today.
Last one from Ryan.
How close is JP defensively to being where you all need him to be?
Well, I don't think any of them are where we need them to be yet. Is he getting there? He will, the more he's out there. Other than maybe Bishop, I think Bishop, but when Bishop is obviously doing a great job on the ball, he'll keep getting better away from it, learning how to really, I think, rest himself a little bit because he's working hard trying to get through it. But JP, Felix, all of them are learning. The reason we started Kate, we only have a 4 that can shoot. We got to get those guys out there where they can really defend the 3-point line, and that's all new. For Fee's obviously done it in the past, Cade's done it, but Jadon's going to have to learn to do it at a higher level. Dwayne Brown's learning how to do it, and so is JP learning how to get out there to help us with all the zoom actions and when they're in those ball screens, just understanding the coverage we're in, and they've got to execute it.
Thanks, Coach.